Hi everybody, Indiana Caver here. Going to be replacing the battery on my 2010 Chevy Silverado 1500. It's 5.3 liter. I think that's all the descriptions you need. I think the 2010 and 2011 model use the same battery and across engine sizes as well, but at any rate, what I have is that 2010 1500 with a 5.3 liter. So why do I need to replace the battery? Had a couple of situations where I actually needed jumped. I do run some radio gear, and I haven't got my other alternative second battery system set up, so that probably had something to do with it. But it's getting into the end of the summer, beginning of the fall, and from what I've always heard is if you experience battery problems in the summertime, you're going to have real problems in the wintertime. So I thought it's probably better go ahead and get the battery replaced. Unfortunate thing is the battery here, instead of being over there in the corner up front, it's in the back there where you can see it, and you can't access it just by taking it out. You have to remove some stuff. So let me change the camera angle, maybe give you a little better angle, and we'll get into it. Okay, here we are, a little better angle I hope for you. Of course, I'm going to be fighting the camera trying to work on this, so hopefully it doesn't get too knocked around or anything like that. So the first thing when you're going to replace the battery, turn off any electronics, turn off the vehicle, all of that standard safety stuff. I read somewhere that you should take the key out of the ignition. I don't know if there's something to do with security when you plug it back in, or get things started back out. So don't have the key in the ignition. All my accessory stuff's turned off. So the first thing you want to do is take the negative battery terminal out, and it's back in here. You'll need a good set of wrenches. This is all metric, so you need metric stuff. If you have standard, then that's not going to work. So go find a buddy or go make a little investment. I make the investment, it's probably worth it. You'll use them again. So first thing I want to do is take the negative terminal off. Take the negative terminal off because when I'm working with a positive terminal, if I accidentally come across the positive terminal and hit the bolt, it won't spark on me. So I've already loosened some of this up, so it should come off pretty easy. And I'm just going to pull this stuff out to the side where it'll hopefully stay out of the way. So the negative's off. Like I said, I already had some of this loosened up, so there's the positive. I'm just going to work this back here so that stuff's out of my way. I've also already loosened up the battery bolt down on the bottom. There's a bolt down there, nut. Actually, it's a nut. Or a bolt, I'm sorry, that fits in there and holds the battery securely in place. It's pretty obvious when you see it. The battery actually slips back under some flanges here, and then that holds it in place. So there's no room in here to remove the battery. The overflow for the radiator's here. There's one bolt here that's easy to access. The other one's buried under the air cleaner. So I did a little research online, and it said just to go ahead and take out this brace right here and lift your battery out. So again, the metric, the bolt and the nut are the same size, so you'll need two. So I got a couple of socket wrenches I'm going to use and take that apart. So let me get to that and I'll be right back. Okay, so that was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. The bolts came out really easily. I didn't have to apply much pressure, and the nuts are actually fixed to this crossmember piece, so you don't have to have a second wrench. So I think these were 13mm bolts, and it came out just like that. It was pretty easy. There's 4 of them, but I think probably, as you can see, the nuts and washers are fixed to this crossmember piece, so it came out easier. I think it came out a lot quicker than having to move the reservoir out of the way. One thing too, when you're doing this, you want to make sure you set your stuff off to the side where it's not going to fall down in the engine compartment and lose it. I'm not doing that, so do as I say, not as I do type of thing. All right, so now I should be able to lift the battery out. Should be able to. And the camera's sort of in the way. Yeah, here it comes. Might knock the camera here, but there we go. So here's the battery. Take a look at it. It doesn't really show any signs of swelling or anything. No, it doesn't, but at any rate, it's coming out and a new one's going in. Let me put that to the side and get the new one. Okay, here's the new one. The new one has a nice convenient handle, and you can set it in there. It has covers over both of the terminals. I just removed the negative one. leaving the positive one on. Again, you know, you don't want to get anything across those. Don't anticipate that it will, but with that on, there's a little protection. So you just drop this one in place. And again, the camera is making this a little more difficult than it should be, but there we go. And you'll need to get it fit into the little keepers in there. And let me go ahead and, I think I need to move the camera. Let me get that done and we'll be back. Okay, got the battery in there where it's gonna go. I did have to move the camera out of the way so I could square up on that angle with it. So this is the thing that keeps the battery in place after you fit it down underneath the two standouts over there. And I've got I buy stuff at auctions, so I don't have a lot of really good stuff, but I've got a lot of stuff that I need. So pardon the multiple colors and short adapters, but it all works. So I'm gonna get that in there. Again, the camera's in the way, so let me move the camera and come back here in just a second. Okay, I got that back in place. You can move the battery around now, and it won't move at all. You'll shake your truck before you move the battery. So while I have this brace off, I'm gonna go ahead and hook my power back up. You'll want to be careful because, again, you don't want to come across the positive and the negative terminals with anything that could conduct electricity. That would be create a dead short, and it would be very, very bad. And on this, there's a lot of areas to come in contact with, from the actual terminal itself to all of the stuff here. Also, if this was corroded at this time, I'd clean it all up. It's not, so I'm not going to worry about it. You'll see this here. This is for my radios, my amateur radios. What I'm going to do, hopefully in the near future, save up some money, get some stuff sold on eBay, is get a secondary battery to go over there. Then I'm going to come off this post with a nice fuse and really clean that up. So that's what that is, if you're wondering what that is there. I just sort of needed to get it done and put it in place, so it's sort of temporary then. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. And if I didn't have this nice cover on here, you don't need to watch me do that. So this cover will come down here, and it's going to protect everything there. So when I put this brace in, I won't have any contact between the positive and anything in the body. That's why I'm doing that. So let me go ahead. I'll temper. Okay, got both terminals back in place, tightened down. I got my protective cover over my positive side. I've got my brace right here that I'm going to put back in. Shouldn't be very difficult at all. While I'm doing this, I will say, you know, you're working with a battery, and batteries have acid in them. So if your battery's really corroded, or it's split, or it's swollen, or something like that, you might want to wear gloves, either like rubber or latex surgical gloves, or you know, leather gloves or something like that. And also, eye protection is not a bad idea. You know, you sure hate to get something flicked up in your eye from the battery terminal and have it do some damage or be painful. You could also keep some baking soda around, right? Basic baking soda is a base, and acid is acid. And so if you would have an accident or spill, or you start feeling a burning sensation on your skin while working with a battery, you can maybe sprinkle some of that on to neutralize the acid. So as you can see here, this brace goes back in fairly easy. I've gotten all 4 bolts back in, and just going to tighten them down here, and we'll be finished. So there you go. Helps if I'm going the right direction. There you go, 2010 Chevy 1500 Silverado battery replacement. It's pretty easy, really. I thought it was going to be a mess, but getting this brace out was not a problem at all. It really didn't add much time, you know. It took me, 45 seconds to take it out, and well, you've seen me put it back in, so it's all back there where it was, snug as a bug in a rug, as they'd say. So hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed. And again, this is just one of those videos I like to do, because you can go get the battery yourself. This battery cost me, oh gosh, got it at Walmart. It was $117. I had a core.
They'll want a core, so you can either take your old battery back in when you replace it and they'll give you money back, or if you have a couple of batteries laying around like I did, I took that in, got the core, and you know, they probably would have charged $100 to put it in, so I probably just saved $100. And it took me, video, and it took me a little bit longer, but it would have took me 20 minutes max. I'll take $20. I'll take $100 every 20 minutes. That's for sure. So there you go. It's really that easy to do. So put my tools up and wash up, and then I think it's time for a, I don't know, maybe some amateur radio activity or YouTubing or something. All right, take care.